Eagle Television High School Sports, brought to you by Service Master Clean of Hayes. From the major accidents to the minor incidents, Service Master Clean of Hayes, Corey, Pam, and the entire staff support the efforts of Hayes High and TMP. Call today 628-6712. Thomas More Prep Marion. Through the dedication of students, parents, teachers, and alumni members, the focus is on Christian values and community awareness. TMP, Worlds of Opportunity, investing for eternity.
Lifetime Dental Care is devoted to helping you, your family, and friends achieve your healthiest and brightest smile. They are now accepting new patients. Call 625-7969 to schedule your appointment. They know every person's dental needs are unique, and that is why they offer you a comprehensive selection of 69. Or see them at lifetimedentalcare.com.
Gut Shock Equipment, family owned since 1973. Choose from an incredible selection of products, including Arctic Cat. Stop dreaming, start riding. Always wear a helmet and don't drink and ride. Kurt Staub Agency, your American family insurance agent with locations in Hayes and Ellis. Just the right coverage for wherever your dreams take you. Verney's Hamburger House. Feed yourself or the whole team with great burgers, milkshakes, and the award-winning onion rings. Marianne, Bonnie, and the staff at Verney's Hamburger House, 17th and Vine in Hayes. Bacon Rind Appraising Services, the lead provider of real estate valuations for the mortgage lending marketplace. With many years of experience, they have a proven track record. Contact Making Your Home or Business Beautiful. Energy efficient and comfortable with quality products they stand behind. See them online at homesteelsiding.com.
Thank you for choosing to style Classic Quality Body Shop.
Classic Quality Body Shop has had the pleasure of serving this area since 1984. Much like a sports team, Shelton and his team have worked hard, grown together, and followed the playbook of taking care of customers to become one of the most highly regarded body shops in the area. Support your local team, whether on the field or when choosing who you do business with.
Thank you for choosing to style Classic Quality Body Shop.
See their ad in the Next Tech directory.
Steel Fabrications, the Iron Men of Western Kansas. Steel Fabrications. Thirsties, before the game, during the game, and after the game. Enjoy great food and a great atmosphere. Coldwell Banker Executive Realty. At Coldwell Banker Executive Realty, they believe there is nothing more powerful or more important than a home. Call or stop by today for all your real estate needs. Next Tech Wireless, avid supporters of local athletic programs, and have sponsored multiple school events. Are you ready for something different? See Next Tech Wireless. NCK Tech, North Central Kansas Technical College, is dedicated to being a leader in workforce development by maximizing value for students, employers, and communities. Log on to ncktc.edu to see what they can do for you. Paul Wurtenberger Construction, designing and building residential and commercial. Building dreams for over 30 years, Paul Wurtenberger Construction. Insurance Planning Incorporated, insurance for the way you work and live. For business, home, and family. Value the price, remember the service. Insurance Planning, IPIFinancialChevrolet.com.
Good morning.
Everyone in Hayes says you can clean anything, so can you get this tough stain out?
Grape jelly, we can get that out.
Wow, you guys really are good.
Master Cleaners in Hayes offers a variety of services including dry cleaning, alterations, laundry, tuxedo rentals, and free pickup and delivery.
G&L Tire and Automotive. G&L Tire is proud to be voted #1 tire store by the people of Hayes since 2005. They've been a part of the community since 1997 and look forward to seeing you at 201 East 8th in Hayes. Walmart. Save money, live better, Walmart. Whiskey Creek Wood Fire Grill, where the fire's always burning. Whiskey Creek. Leon's Welding and Fabrication. From welding and fabrication to sandblasting and powder coating to supporting the community, you can always count on Leon's Welding and Fabrication. Commerce Bank. Here's the ones that rise to the challenge. Commerce Bank. Commercial Builders. On time, on target, on budget. Commercial Builders. Redeem Designs, screen print, embroidery, design, where you'll find better ideas, better designs, better people. Come experience the best 2204 Vine and Hayes Redeemed designs. James Motor Company, proud to serve our hometown athletes. They have an excellent selection of new and used Buick, Cadillac, and GMC vehicles. See the good guys for the best deal around. James Motor Company, 13th and Main in Hayes.
It's a beautiful day in our super high-speed internet great customer service neighborhood. Like you, this is where we live. In fact, our company is employee-owned, so it's our goal to improve the quality of life for everyone in our community by delivering faster, more reliable internet, clearer, more feature-laden phone service, quality TV channels, all with the level of customer service you'd expect from people who are your neighbors. Eagle Communications. Our community connected.
Eagle Television High School Sports, brought to you by Service Master Clean of Hayes. From the major accidents to the minor incidents, Service Master Clean of Hayes, Corey, Pam, and the entire staff support the efforts of Hayes High and TMP. Call today 628-6712. Thomas More Prep Marion. Through the dedication of students, parents, teachers, and alumni members, the focus is on Christian values and community awareness. TMP, Worlds of Opportunity, investing for eternity.
Lifetime Dental Care is devoted to helping you, your family, and friends achieve your healthiest and brightest smile. They are now accepting new patients. Call 625-7969 to schedule your appointment. They know every person's dental needs are unique, and that is why they offer you a comprehensive selection of treatment options in a comfortable and caring atmosphere. Dr. Lowe and his dental team want you to enjoy your visit. Lifetime Dental Care, accepting new patients. Call 625-7969 or see them at lifetimedentalcare.com.
Gutschach Kurt Staub Agency, your American family insurance agent with locations in Hayes and Ellis. Just the right coverage for wherever your dreams take you. Verney's Hamburger House. Feed yourself or the whole team with great burgers, milkshakes, and the award-winning onion rings. Marianne, Bonnie, and the staff at Verney's Hamburger House, 17th and Vine in Hayes. Bacon Rind Appraising Services, the lead provider of real estate valuations for the mortgage lending marketplace. With many years of experience, they have a proven track record. Contact Patty Bacon Rind today. Cross Manufacturing, looking for a few good people to join their team. Apply today. Cross Manufacturing. Home Steel Siding and Windows, making your home or business beautiful. Energy efficient and comfortable with quality products they stand behind. See them online at homesteelsiding.com.
Thank you for choosing to stop Classic Quality Body Shop.
Classic Quality Body Shop has had the pleasure of serving this area since 1984. Much like a sports team, Shelton and his team have worked hard, grown together, and followed the playbook of taking care of customers to become one of the most highly regarded body shops in the area. Support your local team, whether on the field or when choosing who you...
Fabrications. Thirsties. Before the game, during the game, and after the game. Enjoy great food and a great atmosphere. Coldwell Banker Executive Realty. At Coldwell Banker Executive Realty, they believe there is nothing more powerful or more important than a home. Call or stop by today for all your real estate needs. Nextech Wireless. Avid supporters of local athletic programs and have sponsored multiple school events. Are you ready for something different? See Nextech Wireless. NCK Tech. North Central Kansas Technical College is dedicated to being a leader in workforce development by maximizing value for students, employers, and communities. Log on to ncktc.edu to see what they can do for you. Paul Wurtenberger Construction, designing and building residential and commercial. Building dreams for over 30 years, Paul Wurtenberger Construction. Insurance Planning Incorporated, insurance for the way you work and live. For business, home, and family. Value the price, remember the service. Insurance planning, IPI Financial Services, and AgPro Crop Insurance. Offices in Hayes, Great Bend, and Russell. Hayes Chevrolet. They have a huge selection of brand new cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, and a great selection of pre-owned vehicles. See them online today at HayesChevrolet.com.
Good morning.
Everyone in Hayes says you can clean anything, so can you get this tough stain out?
Grape jelly, we can get that out.
Wow, you guys really are good.
Master Cleaners in Hayes offers a variety of services including dry cleaning, alterations, laundry, tuxedo rentals, and free pickup and delivery.
G&L Tire and Automotive. G&L Tire is proud to be voted #1 tire store by the people of Hayes since 2005. They've been a part of the community since 1997 and look forward to seeing you at 201 East 8th in Hayes. Walmart. Save money, live better, Walmart. Whiskey Creek Wood Fire Grill, where the fire's always burning. Whiskey Creek. Leon's Welding and Fabrication. From welding and fabrication to sandblasting and powder coating to supporting the community, you can always count on Leon's Welding and Fabrication. Commerce Bank. Here's the ones that rise to the challenge. Commerce Bank. Commercial Builders. On time, on target, on budget. Commercial Builders. Redeem Designs. Screen print, embroidery, design. Where you'll find better ideas, better designs, better people. Come experience the best. 2204 Vine in Hayes. Redeem Designs. James Motor Company. Proud to serve our hometown athletes. They have an excellent selection of new and used Buick, Cadillac, and GMC vehicles. See the good guys for the best deal around. James Motor Company, 13th and Main in Hayes.
It's a beautiful day in our super high-speed internet great customer service neighborhood. Like you, this is where we live. In fact, our company is employee-owned, so it's all with the level of customer service you'd expect from people who are your neighbors. Eagle Communications. Our community connected.
Eagle Television High School Sports, brought to you by Service Master Clean of Hayes. From the major accidents to the minor incidents, Service Master Clean of Hayes, Corey, Pam, and the entire staff support the efforts of Hayes High and TMP. Call today 628-6712. Thomas More Prep Marion. Through the dedication of students, parents, teachers, and alumni members, the focus is on Christian values and community awareness. TMP, Worlds of Opportunity, investing for eternity.
Lifetime Dental Care is devoted to helping you, your family, and friends achieve your healthiest and brightest smile. They are now accepting new patients. Call 625-7969 to schedule your appointment. They know every person's dental needs are unique, and that is why they offer you a comprehensive selection of treatment options in a comfortable and caring atmosphere. Dr. Lowe and his dental team want you to enjoy your visit. Lifetime Dental Care, accepting new patients. Call 625-7969 or see them at lifetimedentalcare.com.
Gut Shock Equipment, family owned since 1973. Choose from an incredible selection of products, including Arctic Cat. Stop dreaming, start riding. Always wear a helmet and don't drink and ride. Kurt Staub Agency, your American family insurance agent with locations in Hayes and Ellis. Just the right coverage for wherever your dreams take you. Vernie's Hamburger House. Feed yourself or the whole team with great burgers, milkshakes, and the award-winning onion rings. Marianne, Bonnie, and the staff at Vernie's Hamburger House, 17th and Vine in Hayes. Bacon Rind Appraising Services, the lead provider of real estate valuations for the mortgage lending marketplace. With many years of experience, they have a proven home steel siding and windows, making your home or business beautiful, energy efficient and comfortable with quality products they stand behind. See them online at homesteelsiding.com.
Thank you for choosing the style Classic Quality Body Shop.
Classic Quality Body Shop has had the pleasure of serving this area since 1984. Much like a sports team, Shelton and his team have worked hard, grown together, and followed the playbook of taking care of customers to become one of the most highly regarded body shops in the area. Support your local team, whether on the field or when choosing who you do business with.
Thank you for choosing the style Classic Quality Body Shop.
See their ad in the Next Tech directory.
Steel Fabrications, the Iron Men of Western Kansas. Steel Fabrications. Thirsties, before the game, during the game, and after the game. Enjoy great food and a great atmosphere. Coldwell Banker Executive Realty. At Coldwell Banker Executive Realty, they believe there is nothing more powerful or more important than a home. Call or stop by today for all your real estate needs. Next Tech Wireless, avid supporters of local athletic programs, and have sponsored multiple school events. Are you ready for something different? See Next Tech Wireless. NCK Tech, North Central Kansas Technical College is dedicated to being a leader in workforce development by maximizing value for students, employers, and communities. Log on to nckTC.edu to see what they can do for you. Paul Wertenberger Construction, designing and building residential and commercial. Building dreams for over 30 years, Paul Wertenberger Construction. Insurance Planning Incorporated, insurance for the way you work and live. For business, home, and family. Value the price, remember the service. Insurance Planning, IPI Financial Services, and AgPro Crop Insurance. Offices in Hayes, Great Bend, and Russell. Hayes Chevrolet. They have a huge selection of brand new cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, and a great selection.
So can you get this tough stain out?
Grape jelly, we can get that out.
Wow, you guys really are good.
Master Cleaners in Hayes offers a variety of services including dry cleaning, alterations, laundry, tuxedo rentals, and free pickup and delivery.
G&L Tire and Automotive. G&L Tire is proud to be voted #1 tire store by the people of Hayes since 2005. They've been a part of the community since 1997 and look forward to seeing you at 201 East 8th in Hayes. Walmart. Save money, live better, Walmart. Whiskey Creek Woodfire Grill, where the fire's always burning. Whiskey Creek. Leon's Welding and Fabrication. From welding and fabrication to sandblasting and powder coating to supporting the community, you can always count on.
Welcome, everybody, to Paul Dennis Field as the Hayes High Indians and the Abilene Cowboys, both at 2-5 and 0-1 in district play, get set for Week 8 football in almost a must-win situation if either of these teams wants to go to the playoffs in 2017. I'm Dustin Armbruster beside Kurt David, Rafe Dent at our KFIX studio back in Hayes, up top of the press box here. For ECTV and Hayes Post, we've got Harrison and also Gabe. The Hayes High Indians, Kurt David kicking off. How did the coin toss go down?
Hey, the Hayes High Indians won the coin toss and have elected to defer. That means they're going to kick off to the Abilene Cowboys. Logan Clark's going to have a 21.5-mile-an-hour wind out of the south to his back with this opening kickoff, Dustin.
74 degrees at kickoff, clear skies. They're talking about the temperatures dropping throughout the night. Logan Clark with 10 touchbacks on the season, puts his right foot into it, and that one is going to sail into the end zone for touchback number 11 on the season. Let's meet the starters for the Hayes High Indian defense tonight. At defensive ends, Dante Blackman and Dylan Schmidberger, the two seniors. Defensive tackles, the juniors Chase Browse and Logan Schulte. Linebackers Keaton Markley, Palmer Hutchison, Mason Ibarra, and Wyatt Sheevy, all juniors. Cornerback is Will Sinnott, in for Tavian Kramer. Will has missed time since the Great Bend game when he hurt his foot. Hunter Brown is the other corner, and the safety is Hayden Brown. The Hayes High Indians will see the Abilene Cowboys start at the 20-yard line, left to right, going into the wind as we view things here in Abilene. Castile with the running back to his left, and then one behind him, split on the wide receivers. Handoff goes to Mayfield, hit at the line of scrimmage, bounces off the first hit. Then there are 4 white jerseys to stack up James Mayfield, the 185-pound junior with 427 yards on the season on 61 carries. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. No gain. Nice gang tackling by the Indians.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Logan Schulte was fading to the inside. He was shooting the gap to the inside, and the Abilene Cowboys ran to the gap that Logan Schulte had vacated. Linebackers filled that gap terrifically to shut that play down.
Again, it's going to be quarterback Trevor Castile. He is a 145-pound senior. He's thrown 8 interceptions this season. He'll take the shotgun snap. An inside handoff. No, he's going to keep it himself. Try to go to the left side. There's the Hayes High Indians to take him down in the backfield for a tackle for a loss. Chase Browse is there, along with Wyatt Sheevy for the tackle. 3rd and long coming up for the Cowboys.
You're right, Chase Browse was there. He didn't actually make the initial hit of the tackle, but he forced that ball carrier into Wyatt Sheevy. So great job getting 2 yards deep in the backfield, Chase Browse.
Believe it or not, that is Wyatt Sheevy's first tackle for loss this season. Castile goes backwards 4 yards, so 3rd and 14 for the Cowboys, who are dressed in all orange, helmets, jerseys, and pants. 4 wide receivers, 2 left, 2 right. Indians show blitz. They bring it right up the middle. Castillo rolls out to his right, throws it away. Incomplete. Wyatt Sheevy had come untouched into the backfield. Castillo had a roll out to his right, just threw it way before he wanted to. Castillo 41 for 80 now on the season, 604 yards, 5 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and punting into the wind are the Abilene Cowboys.
Yeah, Wyatt Sheevy was in the backfield. Trevor Castillo had more time to throw that ball, but got nervous, threw that ball just a little bit early and into a 21-mile-an-hour wind that caused some misdirection on that pass.
Ball from the 16. Castillo, the quarterback, is the punter, and he gets off a high punt, but that gets right into the wind. Indians are going to get away from it. It lands on top of the 35 and will be picked up by an Abilene Cowboy at the 37-yard line, a 23-yard punt, and the Hayes High Indians have excellent field position to start off their first drive of this game. 10:22 to go, first quarter.
I'll tell you what, a 3-and-out possession for the Hayes High Indians, and the Abilene Cowboys lost 3 yards on that possession. So great negative play, and you've done a great job, Hayes High Indian. Even you.
Schmidberger plows ahead for a yard to the 36. Here's your offensive starters for the Hayes High Indians. On the line, left tackle Dante Blackman, left guard Kyler Kinke, center Trey Van Pelt, Colton Schoendahler's the right guard, Logan Schulte is the right tackle. Tight end, Mason Ibarra, and then Graydon Mayfield on that play. Hunter Brown, the quarterback, Dylan Schmidberger, the fullback. We will see Palmer Hutchison, Keaton Markley, and Hayden Brown all get carries tonight, and the Indians back to that wishbone formation after a gain of 1 to the 36 by Dylan Schmidberger. A turn and handoff to Hayden Brown. He gets tackled by Trey Horner, who was a game-time decision because of missing the last part of the last week's game, a gain of 2 to the 34-yard line. The Indians set up in third down, and we'll call it medium long, I guess, third down and about 6.
Tell you what, one of the advantages of that wishbone offense is you're very oftentimes going to get a lead blocker, and Dylan Schmidberger was there. Hunter Brown just couldn't get over there quick enough to get behind Dylan Schmidberger's lead block.
Ball at the 34, third down for the Indians. Double tight wishbone formation. Handoff on the counter to Dylan Schmidberger. Stiff arm to the right side. Gets held up just shy of the first down marker, and then he fumbles the football. It's picked up by the Abilene Cowboys, and it's going to be returned into Hayes High territory. A late fumble. The touchdown-saving tackle by Dante Blackman. It is taken away by Dominic Campbell, who may have scored, but he's struggling with a hamstring injury. Comes up hobbled, and the Indians turn over the football on third down after picking up 4 yards.
Boy, they had a great block from Kyler Kinke, who had pulled from the near guard position to the far side of the field. They were fighting for extra yards to pick up the first down, and that's when the fumble occurred.
They would have been about 4th and 2, so now Abilene has the football at the Hayes High 38-yard line. And the Cowboys with the momentum going left to right. They go to a offset like wishbone formation. Handoff on the inside is going to go to Trey Horner. That is the backup fullback, Logan Anguano. His 16th carry of the season gets maybe a yard to the 37. They'll mark him to the 36 on a gain of 2.
Well, I'll tell you what, we talked about an Abilene Cowboy team that's turned the ball over 21 times on the season, 12 coming in tonight for the Hayes High Indians. 6 fumbles, 6 interceptions. That's now 13 turnovers on the season for the Indians.
That puts Hayes High +1 in the turnover category on the year. They were +2 entering tonight. No wide receivers. An off-balance line, 4 left, 2 right. Under center is the quarterback. He'll turn and hand off. It's going to be a spin move and a hard hit laid out on the running back, Dakota Whiteley. The Indians were able to lay a lick on him, but not until he gets to the 31-yard line. A gain of 5, third down and short, 3rd and 3 for the Cowboys, who are 0 for 1 tonight. Indians giving up 36% on third down this season. Third down and about 3 from the 31-yard line, left to right for the Cowboys after they ripped the ball away from the Hayes High Indians. Under center's the quarterback, turns and hands off, making a man misses Mayfield. He'll get the first down. Boy, if the Indians are able to make the initial hit, they're going to get a tackle for loss. Instead, the ball goes inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. Gain of 7 for James Maiden. I said Mayfield, James Maiden.
Yeah, Logan Schulte was in the backfield 3 or 4 yards deep, but had to dive because of the running back was making a lateral move. That dive fell just short.
7:40 to go. The Indians turn the ball over on their first possession after holding the Abilene Cowboys to a 3-and-out and a short 23 23-yard punt into the wind. Now a balanced line, and they'll go to the wishbone formation. Under the center is the quarterback. Turns, hands off, and there's going to go to Whiteley, is able to take it just inside the 25. It's a loss of a yard for Whiteley as the Indians get there for the tackle for loss.
Well, you're right, Dustin. They're playing the ball, and that was one of the keys to the game. A team that's given up 21 turnovers, you want to play that ball and try and force a turnover, but it is giving up a couple extra yards as they're not wrapping up the running back on the tackle.
And a timeout on the field. And so we will get a stoppage of play with 7:05 to go in this first quarter.
Dustin, I believe that was Abilene calling the timeout.
Give you an opportunity to tell you that our uniform update that we were telling you about earlier is brought to you by Phase 2. Big thanks to Phase 2 for providing game day apparel for our broadcast. Quick turnaround and ready to help your team. Phase 2 next to Big D's Rental on 22nd Street in Hayes. Kurt David, one of your keys to the game was the Hayes High defense putting the Indians' offense in advantageous position because of turnovers. It's Abilene that did that on the first possession.
Well, that's exactly right. The Hayes High Indians got their first possession inside Abilene Cowboy territory. Third down play, trying to pick up some extra yardage. And how often do you see that? Just trying to ink out one or two.
From the 25-yard line after Sheevy's second tackle for loss in the first 8 plays of this game. Wishbone formation for this unbalanced line. 4 right, 2 left for the quarterback. Castile turns and hands off. It's going to be a handoff to Maiden. Maiden makes a couple of guys miss and then is able to get inside the 20-yard line. Inside the 20 down to about the 17-yard line. It's a gain of 8. And it sets up 2nd down and 3 again.
You know, on the first position for the Abilene Cowboys, the Hayes High Indian defensive line was getting 2 or 3 yards back in the backfield, but on this particular possession, only one play have they had an opportunity for a tackle for loss.
Ball from the 17, 4 offensive linemen right, 2 left. It's a toss into the hands of the running back, Maiden. It was up the 18-yard line for a loss of 1, and it's going to be 4th down coming up for the Abilene Cowboys on the play. 4th and 4 now coming up.
Yeah, almost as if he didn't know if he was supposed to pass the ball or run with it, and that moment of indecision allowed the Hayes High Indian linebackers to get there and bring up what might have been about a half-yard tackle for loss.
4th down and 4. Hayes High defense trying to stand tall in the red zone. Wishbone formation. The ball is fumbled, and down on a knee was the quarterback, Castile, and that's going to be Hayes High football. Castile never got a grip on the football from center Chris Crinzen, the 300-pound senior, and he went down to pick up the football, did so with a knee on the field. Hayes High will have the football at their own 19-yard line, and they dodge a bullet in the first quarter.
Boy, it looks about seven plays, got about 17 yards on 7 plays, but they end turning the ball over on downs. Hayes High Indian offense gets the ball back for their 2nd possession of the game.
And so the Hayes High Indians will have it at their own 19 on that 2nd possession. They go wishbone. It's a turn and handoff onto the right side. Hayden Brown makes a man miss and dives for a 1st down. Nice gain for Hayden Brown on 1st and 10. He'll pick up 11 to the 29-yard line. Well, now they're going to look at it. Well, it looked like he went down just shy of the 30, and now they're going to wave the clock dead and bring out the chains to see if he got 10 or 10 and a football.
Don't see too many measurements on a 1st down play, Dustin.
Yeah, that was 1st down by half the football length, and so 10 yards for Hayden Brown. Hayden, comes into tonight having ran the ball 38 times, 120 yards, a majority of those in that Liberal victory, 20-0.
Tell you what, a 10-yard play on 1st down, that's got to be one of the longer 1st down plays that Hayes High Indians have had this season. And so many times we talked about it, the importance of yardage on 1st down.
From that wishbone, newly installed this week, double tight end formation, a turn and handoff again. This time it's going to go to Keaton Markley, bust it right side 40, spins around, gets hit by 3 orange jerseys, gets across the 45-yard line, and a nice run again on 1st down. Now the Indians maybe a little more comfortable with this offense, and this wishbone open up a couple of big holes. Markley goes down at the 46-yard line. That's a gain of 17.
You know, you talk about that on the first possession of the game for the Hayes High Indians. Hunter Brown didn't have enough time to get behind Dylan Schmidberger, the lead blocker. That's such an important part of this wishbone offense. You're right, as this game goes along, you would expect the Hayes High Indians to get better and better with this offense.
Scoreless, 5:10 to go, first quarter. Indians' 2nd possession, a turn and a handoff. It's going to go to Keaton Markley, dances right, midfield into Cowboy territory and taken down on the Hayes sideline across the field from
Boy, defense and the coaching staff for the Abilene Cowboys. The Hayes High Indians, first time they've ever shown the wishbone this season. There's no way they could have prepared for this offense.
And the Cowboys do run that offense, though, so they've seen it in their own practices from time to time. The ball went out of bounds, so 5:01 to go, first quarter. Indians' second possession, they fumbled on the first. That wishbone formation, Schmidberger is the fullback. Brown is going to turn. He's going to play action pass. In some trouble. Immediately fumbled the football, and the Cowboys may have recovered again.
They did.
It is the Hayes High Indians' Logan Schulte that dropped on the football and avoided disaster for the Indians. They will lose 3 yards to their own 49.
Boy, it sure looked to me like there was an orange jersey on top of that ball, but somehow Logan Schulte got in there to get that ball away.
So third down and 7, 49-yard line. They were 0 for 1 on third tonight so far because of that fumble on the previous one. This from their own 49. It's a counter play to Hayden Brown. Makes a man miss. First down. He's in the clear. Hayden Brown right sideline. That's going to be a touchdown for the Hayes High Indians. 51 yards on 3rd and 6, and Hayden Brown scoots into the end zone for his first career touchdown rush, and the Hayes High Indians have a 6-0 lead with 4:14 to go in the first quarter.
You know, Hayden Brown had a nice block on the far side of the line of scrimmage, but he got through that hole and then broke a tackle for a linebacker, and then he shifted gears. Did you see the speed that Hayden Brown did to get into the end zone there? He broke a tackle, and then he turned it up a notch.
We've seen Hayden Brown with that speed one other time when they were at Valley Center, and he had a 97-yard kickoff return, but for a touchdown, then that was called back. Now, flags before the extra point attempt, and it's on, Abilene for an offsides, and I think Hayes High may think about just go ahead and declining this, or will they decide to go for 2? They're trotting on some offensive players now, 2 from the 1-yard line. So the offsides will be accepted. It'll put Hayes at the 1, and they look to go for 2 here to make it 8-0 instead of 7-0.
Hayes High Indians, a 5-play drive, 81 yards down the field in 1 minute and 30 seconds on some big running.
Abilene Cowboys, handoff, Markley right side into the end zone, untouched for the 2-point conversion, and it is 8-0 Hayes High over the Abilene Cowboys. Boy, we had a great angle to see that open up on the right side. That went over the right side between Logan Schulte and Colton Schoendaler, and Markley went untouched into the end zone.
Great blocking there, but also a great fake by Hunter Brown. By surprise.
That Hayes High touchdown adds $25 to the Athletic Booster Club, donated by Horizon Appliance and Electronics. TVs, appliances, Traeger grills, and Tempur-Pedic bedding. Open 7 days a week, 1501 East 27th Street in Hayes. Hayes High with the 8-0 lead, 4:14 to go first quarter. And Indian football is brought to you by Lifetime Dental Care, Coldwell Banker Executive Realty, Thomas More Prep Marion, Cross Manufacturing, and Thirsties.
Boy, been a long time since the Hayes High Indians had a lead in the game in the first quarter. This is nice to see on what really, I know the math doesn't say it's a must-win, but it truly, I think, is a must-win game for this Hayes High Indians. And boy, how nice it would be to not win by a narrow margin, to go in with a few more points in that district play when you face Wamego next week at Lewis Field Stadium on senior night.
Part of the thought process here, too, for Hayes High on this 2-point conversion try from the 1 might have been that Abilene, has really struggled in the kicking game this year. They've gone for 2 more times than not. And so you may be looking at, do you have to make up some points anyway if Abilene is able to put it in? Remember, Hayes High was backed up into their own red zone after fumbling the football, but were able to overcome that, and they score a touchdown on their second drive of the game. Logan Clark to kick off. His first kickoff was for a touchback, but then backed off of it. 4:14 to go first quarter. It'll be the Hayes High Indians defense trotting back out on the field and looking at the Abilene Cowboys from the 20-yard line.
Hey, we talked about how there's real motivation for the Abilene Cowboys tonight. That heartbreaking loss last week to Wamego, 1-point overtime loss, and also it being senior night. Boy, for the Hayes High Indians to punch the Cowboys in the mouth with that touchdown quick in the first quarter, that's an important, demoralizing thing to do the Cowboys. That's important to gain an advantage in this game.
Well, let's be honest with ourselves. Hayes High has some things to prove to themselves too. Unbalanced line, 4 right, 2 left. Handoff goes to the second guy through. That's Maiden. Maiden is going to get about 4 yards to the 24-yard line. So both teams looking at this wishbone offense, and right now it's James Maiden who is Clock rolls, 3:56 to go, first quarter. Hayes leads 8-0 at Paul Dennis Field in Abilene, the second of 3 district games. And now the Cowboys bring in a straight 3-line I offense with an extra back in the backfield. It goes to Maiden on the left side, and Maiden's going to pick up a couple of extra yards. That's Tucker Robinson, 6'5", 265. He's like a second fullback back there leading the way, and he's a hard dude to get out in front of.
Well, there's also another hard person to get out of the way, and Logan Schulte did it. It's Chris Crenson. He's a 300-pound senior center. Logan Schulte lined up just over him, pushed him to the side to be able to make that tackle to make it now 3rd and 5 for the Abilene Cowboys.
Abilene 1 for 3 on third downs in this game. The one they converted on eventually put them into the red zone, but they could not score. 2 wide receivers left, 2 right. Castile back to throw. Looks to the right side. Over the middle. It's going to be incomplete. It is broken up. Intended for Preston Boyd, the tight end. Good job by Hunter Brown, who was in coverage, and then Keaton Markley, who came up and stuck the wide receiver. Incomplete. Castile 0 for 2 throwing the football.
Incomplete pass, but Keaton Markley was there with a hard hit. So that receiver knows that Keaton Markley is in that secondary.
Latavian Kramer not here tonight to play. The Indians send Palmer Hutchison back to return the punt. The first punt was of 23 yards by Castile. He is still punting into that 20-mile-an-hour wind, and this one again high and short. The Indians just need to get away from it, and they do exactly that. Now it takes a Hayes bounce to the 45-yard line, a 20-yard punt. Hayes High defense holding strong. They force another 3 and outs, and they're able to get good field position in Abilene territory at the 45.
Tell you what, 3 and out, and the Abilene Cowboys picked up only 5 yards on that possession.
Hayes High leads by the score of 8-0, 2:53 to go with the wind at their back in the first quarter. A Hayden Brown 51-yard touchdown run put the Indians up, then a 2-point conversion. Abilene had too many guys on the field. They trot one off. Indians back to that wishbone formation. Markley and Hayden Brown right to left. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty on the Indians. Graydon Mayfield jumped early. It's the first penalty on Hayes.
Okay, now still right at the 50-yard line. The Hayes High Indian defense gave the ball second time in Abilene Cowboy territory, but now it's 1st and 15. A mistake's backed them up 5 yards.
Indians fumbled and touchdown. Abilene punt, lost the ball on downs, then punt. Indians wishbone formation, double tight. 3 in the backfield. It's a turn. It's a handoff. It's going to go to Markley. Markley gets a block to the left side. Flag on the play. Markley is at the 30. Tackled from behind at the 25-yard line, but a flag at the line of scrimmage. It might be coming back and waving off a 25-yard run.
It's too bad because Trey Van Pelt, if there's a holding, it wasn't on Trey Van Pelt. He had a great block on one of the defensive tackles for Abilene Cowboys.
So Hayes High starts with a 5-yard false start penalty and then a 10-yard loss on a holding penalty. Now the penalty flag came 2 yards down the field, so Keaton Markley will get 2 yards of rushing. It'll be first down for Hayes High, and 18 make that 23 yards. 1st and 23 now from their own 42-yard line. This is a drive that started on the Abilene 45.
Hunter Brown's going to want to pass the ball at some point here probably on this possession, and he's got a 21-mile-an-hour wind at the back, so he's got to remember not to put his full arm into it.
Brown from under center turns and hands off. Same counter play. This time it goes to Hayden Brown. Hayden's going to spin move, get into Abilene territory, and go down at the Cowboy 40-yard line. His spin move nearly took him for a first down on 1st and 23. He gets all the way down to the 37-yard line, and Hayden Brown having himself a game so far.
Well, I'll tell you what, Hayden Brown hadn't had a lot of touches from the backfield this season, and he's got some speed. He really gets an open field tackle, and he just turns it up a notch. He is quick.
That is going to be a 21-yard run for Hayden Brown, who now has 85 yards on the night and sets up second down and about 3 for the Indians. A turn and handoff again to Hayden Brown. He's able to cut back, and then he gets drilled as he gets over the middle. Coming up and making the big hit is safety Trevor Castile, but a first down. Hayden Brown gets the ball to the 26-yard line, and that'll be enough for a first down.
Palmer Hutchinson with a big block on a defensive end there to make sure that play didn't get contained. Hayden Brown had a big hole there because Palmer Hutchinson blocked out an outside linebacker or defensive end on that play.
Ball from the 27-yard line, 26-yard line. Hands off to Dylan Schmidberger on this play. Takes it inside the 25. Maybe right on the 25-yard line, and the Hayes High Indians will have the ball at the 24 after the Dylan Schmidberger 2-yard gain, leading 7-0. Minute 18 to go, first quarter.
All right, Cade Funston now is coming in on the defensive line for the Abilene Cowboys. He's missed quite a few games, had a neck contusion. He's back in now as a defensive tackle.
Hayes High leading 8-0, trying to add more with the wind at their backs. A minute to go, first quarter. Second down and 8 from the 24-yard line. Brown under center. A fake handoff. Going to give it to Markley. Trying to get around the end. 20. He's at the 15. He's at the 10 and gets tackled from behind. How about the right guard, Colton Schoendaler, pulling out and sweeping around that left side to kick out the cornerback.
Well, I'll tell you what, Cade Funston in there for his first play of the game, and he was in the backfield diving at the feet there. Almost broke that play up.
It's a 15-yard run by Keaton Markley, who now has 40 yards. And there is a timeout on the field. Was that Abilene's second timeout? I believe it was. 47 seconds to go, first quarter. Hayes leads 8-0. And the Hayes High Indians into the red zone, looking to make it a two-possession ball game. Hayes High hasn't been in the red zone much this year for the Indians. This is just their 10th trip to the red zone on the season.
Tell you what, the Hayes High Indians have moved the ball quite a ways down the field and had 15 yards to it for a motion penalty as well as a holding penalty.
Yeah, it was 1st and 23. Hayes High started this possession at the Abilene 45. It'll officially go down if somehow Hayes High gets this into the end zone. It'll go down as a 45-yard drive that they were able to pick up about 58 yards on, but Hayes High still has 9 yards separating themselves and the goal line. Hayes High gets their only score so far tonight on a Hayden Brown 51-yard touchdown scamper. Is the longest run of the season for the Indians and second longest play of the year for the Indians. This is 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. Trey Van Pelt breaks huddle, goes up to the ball on the left hash, flanked to the left by 3 and to the right by 3 in this wishbone formation, double tight end set. Indians face the orange-clad Cowboys. Brown is going to keep it himself this time. Cut back, get towards the 5-yard line. Might have taken that timeout there. They're looking at maybe being able to kick with the wind if they so have to, or kick off with the wind.
Exactly. Interesting play there. The offensive line for the Hayes High Indians were moving the defensive line in the direction of the play, hoping they would push into over pursuit and Hunter Brown would be able to cut back. The Abilene Cowboys did not over pursue. Hunter Brown just couldn't find a hole there to cut back.
Still picked up 6 yards to the 3-yard line. 2nd and goal on the way. Indian football brought to you by Gottschalk Equipment, Hayes Chevrolet, and Walt. 2nd and goal from the 3. The Hayes High Indians already leading 8-0. They fumbled on their first drive. Then after forcing Abilene to lose the ball on downs at the 19-yard line of the Hayes High Indians, Hayes High drove the length of the field, 81 yards, and capped it off with a 51-yard run by Hayden Brown and then a 2-point conversion by Keaton Markley. This is 2nd and goal from the 3. Hayes High trying to make it a two-possession ball game. Indians in that wishbone formation. Hunter Brown under center, 3 behind him, turns, hands off to Hayden Brown. Hayden squirts through the line, gets towards the goal line. Did he get in? No, he's going to be short, and Hayes High is going to use a timeout.
Yep, Hayes High's trying to preserve this clock so that they can score and be able to kick off again with the wind.
Boy, did they move Hayes High backwards a yard on that?
I think you got back to just about the line of scrimmage.
All right, we'll call it no gain, 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line. Hayes High is 1 of 2 tonight on 3rd downs. That 3rd down conversion was a 51-yard run by Hayden Brown, who has 96 yards tonight. He had 120 on the season.
All right, Dustin, so let's talk about it now. We got a little bit of time to talk about it. Okay, it's 3rd down, but if this thing gets to 4th down, we've seen Coach Rath choose to go for it on 4th down a couple times this season instead of using Logan Clark in what seemed to be a very makeable field goal position. You're trying to punch the Abilene Cowboys in the mouth. You're trying to demoralize a team, and you're trying to maximize the number of points you get out of this game. This goes to 4th down. What do you do?
I'm glad I'm not the one that has to make that call, Kurt David. By the way, Dodge City and Liberal tied at 7 midway through the first quarter. In your Hayes Kalon scoreboard update. 3rd and goal from about 3 yards away for the Indians from the north end zone. They lead 8-0. Still in the first quarter, Hunter Brown under center. That wishbone formation, turn, handoff. Hayden Brown follows his blockers. Does he get into the end zone? The official runs in from about a half yard out and says, no, it's fourth down.
Okay.
He's about a half yard away from that end zone.
And Graydon Mayfield is bringing a play in, and Hunter Brown is taking it to the huddle. So Coach Rath, as he has done 2 other times this season, once at Valley Center, once in another game.
Indians trying to hurry up on it to be able to preserve the clock. Here's the snap. Handoff is going to be Keaton Markley's not going to get there. And Hayes High turns it over on downs at about the 1 yard line.
So 9 plays, they bring it 44.5 yards. They fall half a yard short of the goal line. Turn the ball over after 9 plays.
5.3 seconds to go in the first quarter, and so Abilene will have to run a play. Hayes High had a chance to be up by 2 possessions. They got the 2-point conversion from 1 yard out, but cannot get the touchdown from a half yard out. So Abilene will start this drive on their own 1 yard line.
9 plays, they move the ball 44 yards down the
field. By the fullback. That is going to be Tucker Robinson, and according to our stats, this is his first carry of the season, and that's the end of the first quarter. Hayes High leads 8-0 in Abilene in district play from Paul Dennis Field. This is Hayes High Indian football.
Thank you for choosing to style Classic Quality Body Shop.
Classic Quality Body Shop has had the pleasure of serving this area since 1984. Much like a sports team, Shelton and his team have worked hard, grown together, and followed the playbook of
Classic Quality Body Shop.
See their ad in the Next Tech directory.
Good morning.
Everyone in Hayes says you can clean anything. So can you get this tough stain out?
Grape jelly, we can get that out.
Wow, you guys really are good.
Master Cleaners in Hayes offers a variety of services including dry cleaning, alterations, laundry, tuxedo rentals, and free pickup and delivery.
That first play for Tucker Robinson, the 6'5", 265-pound now fullback, went out to near the 5 yard line, gain of 3 from the 1. So we have a new running back to add to our chart for tonight. And again, it's going to be that unbalanced line. 4 left, 2 right, and then there's 3 running backs in an I-4. Keaton Markley with the fumble recovery. His second in 2 weeks, and the Indians have the football in the Abilene red zone.
Boy, Hayes High Indians, we've seen them put solid hits on offensive players all season long, and that was just an offensive hit for a tackle that popped that ball loose.
And so Hayes High, after losing the football at the goal line because of downs, has the ball first down from just behind the 15-yard line. The team's even in turnovers now. Abilene now 15 turnovers in their last 4+ games. Indians from just behind the 15-yard line. It's going to be a turn. Handoff. Schmidberger tries to go over that left tight end. Gets hit. Dillon took him the extra yard for the first down. First and goal from the 4-yard line. 8-0 Hayes High after they are able to force a fumble. They were in the red zone earlier and lost the ball on downs. This is first and goal from the 4. Keaton Markley far out to the left side as a wide receiver. Indians I formation for just the second time. Flag on the play. Indians going to get 5 yards on a delay of game, it looks like. So first and goal from the 9. Hayes High, their 3rd penalty on their last 2 drives, totaling 20 yards. That was an issue last week. The Hayes High Indians had well over 100 yards of penalties a week ago. 10.5 to go, so Hayes High now first and goal from the 9 after the penalty, and instead of first and goal from the 4. Markley, wide receiver left. Hayden Brown is the tailback. Dylan Schmidberger, the fullback. Tied into each side of the formation for Hayes High. Brown, play action pass, looking to his left, now has a chance to run. He's at the 10, gets to the sideline and pushed out of bounds at about the 5. Gets most of the yards back. They'll say out of bounds at the 6, a gain of 3 for Hunter Brown.
He's got the ball inside there, inside the 10 or just outside the 10. Really a hard time completing a pass. The receivers don't have a lot of room. There's just not a lot of room anymore because on a short field, And boy, great coverage by the Abilene Cowboys. Hunter Brown just couldn't find anybody open.
2nd and goal from the 5-yard line now after the ball went out there on the 4-yard run by Hunter Brown. Back to the wishbone formation. Hayes up 8-0, trying to add to it in the red zone again. It's going to be a fake handoff, then a give to Hayden Brown. Runs through a defender. Touchdown, Hayes High Indians. Hayden Brown, his 2nd rushing touchdown of the night and season. This one from 5 yards out and puts the Hayes High Indians up 14-0 with 10:06 to go in this 2nd quarter.
Hayden Brown has shown us the speed that he's got in the open field, and this time he showed us his toughness running over a defender of the Abilene Cowboys for the touchdown.
Brown is now over 100 yards rushing with a lot of game to go. Extra point from Logan Clark into the wind. Hunter Brown is the holder. The snap from Van Pelt, down, kick is up, end over end. The kick is good, and the Hayes High Indians have a 15-0 lead, and that Hayes High touchdown adds $25 to the Athletic Booster Club, donated by Horizon Appliance and Electronics. TVs, appliances, Traeger grills, and Tempur-Pedic bedding. Open 7 days a week, 1501 East 27th Street in Hayes.
Okay, now the Abilene Cowboys are going to get their first possession with the wind, and the Hayes High Indians secondary needs to be prepared to cover those long passes that the Cowboys might want to take advantage of.
That scoring drive for Hayes High, 4 plays, 15 yards. They overcame a 5-yard penalty, took a minute 5 off the clock, 10:06 to go in the 2nd quarter.
So if they couldn't do that, at least give the Hayes High Indians advantageous field position. They've done it on 3 drives now inside Abilene Cowboy territory.
The Hayes High Indians a half a yard away, too, from having a chance to have a 3-possession lead right now, but they left the ball at the half-yard line, got it back on a fumble for Abilene. That was their 12th fumble lost, and overall their 22nd turnover of the season. Now Logan Clark will be kicking off into this 20-mile-per-hour wind on this north-south field. Hayes High may pooch kick this a little bit, get it up into the wind, and see if they can't get it to come back to them.
Hayes High Indians gave up a kickoff return for a touchdown last week to the McPherson Bullpups, one of the keys to the game. No points by given up by special teams tonight.
To approach the football, kicking into the wind, and it's going to be a high kick. It's going to hit the turf. It's live on the ground. Now it's picked up by an Abilene Cowboy and taken to the 30-yard line. Well, what the Indians wanted to have happened did exactly. It hit the natural grass here and came back and gave the Indians a shot at it. Tucker Veach, the freshman, with the tackle at the 30.
First time you said natural grass all season long.
Indian football brought to you by American Family Insurance agent Kurt Staub, Verney's Hamburger House and Commercial Builders. We haven't talked about that. It is natural grass. The first and only time Hayes High has played on it in the regular season. Wide receiver right, Preston Boyd. Wide receiver left is going to be Tucker Robinson. Those are normally the 2 tight ends as Abilene start going to the air with the wind at their back from the 30-yard line. It'll be a handoff. Maiden is going to get hit as he gets to the line of scrimmage. Nice tackle made by the Hayes High Indians. Palmer Hutchison, and also there to make the tackle, Logan Schulte.
Yeah, great wrap-up by Palmer Hutchinson. Got low on the ball carry and brought him down for just a 1 or 1.5 yard gain.
Right now, we have noticed that not in the game on the offensive side is Trey Horner. He hurt his knee last week again, and so he's been out. He also missed 4 games with an appendix, got taken out. Wide receiver right, 1 wide receiver left. Now 2 right side, including Maiden, and 2 wide receivers left for Castile. 2nd down and 9 from the 31-yard line. It's going to be a draw play, and the Indians are right on it. Hayes High is going to take down the quarterback back at the 30-yard line. The Hayes High Indians read the draw, and coming up with the tackle for loss, Palmer Hutchison, and also there to help out, Will Sinnott.
Well, and how could they not be? Chase Browse and Logan Schulte, the 2 defensive tackles, were both lined up in the center guard gap. So they were there narrowly, both picking on that 300-pound center, Chris Crenson. They shot those gaps and were in the backfield quickly.
They put the ball back to the original line of scrimmage, so no tackle for loss. Ball still at the 31, 3rd and 9 for the Cowboys. They are 1 for 4 on 3rd downs tonight. 1 wide receiver left, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. It's going to be a draw play to the fullback, and the Indians are on it. Again, right there at the line of scrimmage for the tackle are the Hayes High Indians, and there to make the tackle are 4 different white jerseys. Dakota Whiteley with the carry, no gain, and The Abilene Cowboys will punt with the wind on their third carry of the night. Castile just narrowly got that punt blocked. It's going to be Palmer Hutchison returning from the 29. Left return, now up the seam, gets to the 35, and now up to the 40 and 45, and Hayes High with great starting field position.
3 plays, and they pick up the 3 plays, and the Abilene Cowboys pick up only 1 yard. Hayes High Indians don't give, or the defense doesn't give their offense the ball in Abilene Cowboy territory, but they're within 5 yards. They've got it at the 45-yard line.
Palmer Hutchison, a nice return of 19 yards out to the 45-yard line with a wide receiver to the left side. Hayes up by 2 scores. Trying to make it more. Handoff Schmidberger up the middle, and Abilene there waiting on the senior fullback. No gain on the play. Ball still at the 45.
All right, this time picked up 2 yards on first down going into the wind.
Hayes High, I guess, started that at the 44, so they'll mark it at the 45. Indian football brought to you by Discount Siding, Insurance Planning, High Plains Farm Credit, High Plains Roofing, Hayes Kalon, and State Glass Company. Hayes High trying to keep their playoff hopes alive and go into a game on senior night at home against Wamego. It would set up a similar situation from a year ago where the winner goes to the playoffs.
Hayes High Indians, though, trying to get some points here back, while McPherson, last we saw, was beating Wamego by 19 or 20 points.
Liberal now leads Dodge City 21-14. There's been some score confusion going on in that game because the last one got sent out that it was 21-17, Liberal over Dodge City right now. Liberal with an interception, and then 1 play later he got the touchdown.
Logan Clark still on the sideline, so the Hayes High Hunter Brown's bringing the full offense in for this 4th and 6th play.
The ball is just inside the 35-yard line. They need to get down to the 29, a holding penalty driving this back. Becker to the left of the quarterback, 3 wide receivers right, 1 left. That's Sheevy to the left. Brown back to throw. He's got time. Looking over the right side of the field for Graydon Mayfield, and he makes the catch, and he goes out of bounds down at the 10-yard line. The longest catch of Graydon Mayfield's career goes for 25 yards, and the Hayes High Indians on 4th and 6 throw a bomb and get a good result out of it.
Hunter Brown had plenty of time to throw that ball, and he knew it. He was able to set up. He wasn't moving his feet. He set up and squared up to Graydon Mayfield. And then Mayfield, not only was it the longest catch of his career, it was tough. He had to make that over his shoulder.
1st down and 10 from right about the 10-yard line. It's going to be Brown to throw again. Now he's in some trouble, looking to scramble away, and he goes down all the way back behind the 25-yard line on a loss of 16. They'll mark him officially at the 25. It's a loss of 15 on the sack.
Boy,
if you're Hunter, you just got to throw that away. You have the ball at the 10.
You go from a play of complete coverage, no pressure, to having almost the entire Abilene Cowboy defense in the backfield.
So Hayes High from the 25 has 2nd down. We'll call it 24, I guess, because according to the marker on the far side, Hayes High can get a 1st down just inside the 1. Back to the wishbone formation. Brown under center. Turn is going to hand it off to Keaton Markley, and he gets wrapped up and dropped by the ankles. Gets a couple of yards, maybe 3 down to the 22, but Hayes High, a 15-yard sack threatening to derail this drive. Here comes Will Sinnott off the sideline for an offensive play. Gain of 3 to the 22.
It's going to be the 16th play of this drive for the Hayes High Indians.
Now, let's face it, if nothing else, Hayes High is burning up clock after Abilene did the same. This is 3rd and 22 for the Hayes High Indians. Under center is Hunter Brown. Tosses right side. Will Sinnott wants to throw. Looking for Mason Ibarra near the end zone. Makes the catch. It's a touchdown. Hayes High Indians. The Indians ran that play in week 1 of the season. They now run it in week number 8. And on 3rd down and 22, the Hayes High Indians hit a 22-yard pass, and they take a lead up to 28-0.
And the Abilene Cowboy defense, who really wasn't pressuring, totally bit. They had come back in for the run. Mason Ibarra then on man-on-man coverage, really broke away, got some gap there and able to make that catch, and a great pass by William Sennett to the corner of the field to Mason Ibarra.
Logan Clark on to attempt the extra point. The kick is up. The kick is good, and the Hayes High Indians lead 29-0 with 7:09 remaining in the game. It is the second pass by Will Sennett, his second completion. It is Mason Ibarra's second catch of the season, his second touchdown. They've hooked up on each of those passes this year.
And at 95 yards, may well be the longest drive of the Hayes High Indians this season, maybe in 2 or 3 seasons. 16 plays, 95 yards, 6 minutes off the clock.
Well, that is a picture-perfect drive from the Hayes High Indians as far as yards and time is concerned. The last 2 drives of this game have taken up 15 minutes and 10 seconds. And Will Sennett is able to hit Mason Ibarra for a touchdown of 22 yards.
And the Hayes High Indians now with a commanding lead of 29-0. And could technically give up a score and still get the maximum 21 points in district play.
And how about the catch on the 4th down to Graydon Mayfield? Hayes High made plays all over on that particular drive, and they had to overcome a sack of 15 yards to make that possible. By the way, Hayes High in the second half now 3 for 4 on 3rd downs. 3 of their 4 touchdowns on 3rd downs tonight. The 2 Hayden Brown runs and that touchdown pass from Will Sennett to Mason Ibarra. The second time those two have hooked up for a touchdown this year, and Logan Clark just makes sure that Abilene doesn't have a chance.
This time the 20-yard line. They started on the 25-yard line last time, marched at 70 yards down the field, but had the wind at their back. Now with just over 7 minutes left to play, the Abilene Cowboys have got to do it into the wind with a 29-point deficit.
7:09 to go in the 4th quarter. This is the second Abilene drive of the second half. Hayes High 1-play touchdown, then 18 plays for Abilene, but lost the ball on downs in the Indian red zone for the 3rd time in this game. Then Hayes High goes 6 minutes, 16 plays, 97 yards. Abilene going to hand off to Maiden. Maiden is going to be hit, and he's going to be dropped right at the line of scrimmage. Hayes High defense, Palmer Hutchison flying to the football.
Mason Ibarra, who just caught that touchdown pass, now in on a tackle at the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play. Maiden, 17 carries, 70 yards, 38 on that previous drive, but he's had 3 straight runs of no yards now.
Abilene Cowboys not moving fast here, down 29-0, really taking the full amount of time off the clock. Back in the huddle.
Ball back at the 20 for the Cowboys. Hayes High trying to even their record in district play and set up a winner-take-all game in Hayes next week at Lewis Field Stadium. Back to pass, Castile looking over the middle. Is going to be incomplete, and going up to try to pick it off was Keaton Markley. It would have been his second turnover of the game. He picked up a fumble earlier. 3rd down for the Cowboys. McPherson is going to get the maximum amount of points out of their game against Wamego. They're up 40-0 now in the 4th quarter. 6:18 to go in our game. Hayes up 29-0. As it sits right now, this is going to come down to a winner-take-all game next week unless Abilene can go to McPherson and upset the undefeated or the one-loss Bull Pups. Castile wants to set up a screen. Hayes High reads it. Castile running. He's going to get sacked in the backfield. That's going to be the Hayes High Indians. Wyatt Sheevy on the sack. His 4th tackle for loss in this game, his first sack of the season, and the Hayes High Indians force Abilene to punt into the wind after the loss of 5 yards on the sack.
They're going to have to punt into the wind from their own 50-yard line. The punter is backed up right about now to the 1 or 2 yard line of the Abilene Cowboys.
Hayes High defense has come to play in big spots today. It is the 5th punt for Abilene, first of the second half. Castile a long time back there at the 3 yard line waiting on the ball. The punt is nearly blocked by Chase Browse. A high but short punt takes a huge Hayes bounce, still rolling, and it's dived on by Castile, the quarterback, at the 25 yard line. That is going to be a 10-yard punt.
Boy. 3 and out, and the Abilene Cowboys lose 5 yards on that drive. Now the Hayes High Indians with the ball at the Abilene Cowboy 25-yard line. Boy, we talked about these last 2 games, how the Hayes High Indian offense had given the opposing team advantageous field position. This time the defense for the Hayes High Indians has turned the tables, really changed the destiny, if you will, of this Hayes High Indians that had been on a 4-game losing streak.
Hayes High leading 29-0. 5.5 to go in this game. Split some wide receivers. Brown handoff to Dylan Schmidberger, and he's going to, Lane Becker, the freshman, gets the call. And now Palmer Hutchison is thrown to the ground by a Abilene Cowboy. And no penalty. Lane Becker, nice carry of 4 yards. We'll call it 5 down to the 20-yard line. Becker a week ago is the conservative time kill time drive that the Indians are looking for. Graydon Mayfield will line up wide receiver to the right. Slot left outside of the tight end is going to be Hayden Brown. It's going to be Hunter Brown under center. Play action, going to keep it himself. Hunter tries to bounce out to the right side, 15-yard line. Gets down to around the 10, tries to squirt through, into the end zone. It's a touchdown for the Hayes High Indians. Hunter Brown from 20 yards out puts the Hayes High Indians up by the score of 35-0. Hayes High, a 2-play drive.
Boy, Lane Becker in there to provide a lead block from that formation. Lane Becker provided a lead block. Hunter Brown gave it just long enough for that gap, that hole to develop, and then he scooted into the end zone for a touchdown. And the Hayes High Indians are going to come out of Abilene. They're going to come out of district play now with a win tonight.
20-yard run by Hunter Brown is touchdown number 5 on the ground this season. It came on his 100th carry of the season. The extra point by Logan Clark is up and good. 36-0. Hayes High leads with 4.5 minutes to go. Indian football brought to you by Lewis Automotive Group, Roof Masters, Progressive Physical Therapy, and Shelter Insurance Agent Dustin Shoemaker. And the Indians will have Logan Clark out to do what he's done all game, and that's kick this thing deep and out of the back of the end zone.
Well, I tell you what, 2 plays, 25 yards for a touchdown. If there's only one thing bad about it, only took 55 seconds off the clock. Logan Clark, though, is going to back this up. My guess is he'll put another ball into the end zone, and the Abilene Cowboys, on what will now be their 10th possession of the game, are going to face into the wind a long field.
Hayes High has had the ball 3 times in the second half. And they have scored on all 3. 1 play, Keaton Markley touchdown drive, 16 plays, 97 yards in 6 minutes. That was a touchdown pass from Will Sinnott to Mason Ibarra, and then a 2-play 25-yard drive after a 10-yard punt put the Hayes High Indians into the end zone on a Hunter Brown 20-yard run.
I think about the excitement that the Hayes High Indians have got to feel now. They have erased that point deficit from last week at McPherson. The Abilene Cowboys, heartbreaking loss this week. The last week, they're getting beat tonight by the Hayes High Indians, and they've got to face a team in McPherson next week in McPherson on senior night.
Logan Clark is from their own 20 again.
And Abilene Cowboys coming out really just to play with pride right now on senior night. This last game here at Paul Dennis Field. Tell you what, Paul Dennis led this Abilene Cowboy team for so many years, and Abilene led them to 2 state championships, 1978, 1987. So much pride here in Abilene for this football team. This 2017 season, which right now is going to lead to a 2-6 season, most likely a 2-7 season as Abilene goes to McPherson next week. Really just a disappointment for this team, not common, and disappointment for the fan base. They'll be looking to rebuild going into next year, and next year when Hayes High will no longer have Abilene on their schedule.
Abilene, their Indian football brought to you by Adams Brown, Barron and Ball, Classic Quality Body Shop, Uber driver Jenny Atwell, Redeem Designs, Midwest Construction, Hertz Rent-A-Car, and Eagle Technology Solutions. Hayes Kalon scoreboard update will be interesting to look at tonight. A lot of district points on the line for a lot of different districts in game 2 of 3, meaning a lot for everybody all over the field. Hayes High, pretty much with their starting defense out there. Graydon Mayfield is going to be at defensive end on this drive. Will Sinnott back at cornerback. I believe the Indians have Tay Oddie. They do, over at the right cornerback position in for Hunter Brown here. 4.5 to go. Castile in the shotgun formation from the 20. It's going to be a handoff over onto the right side, and the going to be running one across the lane. Peyton Lukerson who is a senior, and they get him in for a big run to the 40-yard line.
Big run for him, and that gets the Abilene crowd fired up. Proud of the young man for making that run.
Peyton Lukerson, a senior, getting a chance to run the football one time in his career. He's going to pick up 60 yards on the play.
Hayes High Indian defense giving up some yardage, but said enough was enough. We're not giving up points that easily.
All for a good cause. So now the starters out there for both teams, and Abilene has the ball at the Indian 40-yard line. To that wishbone formation, Hayes High defense stalking the line of scrimmage. Handoff Whiteley following Maiden down the field inside the 35 down to the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 7 on first down for Dakota Whiteley. Hayes High, a pair of 100-yard rushers tonight. They'll place the ball officially at the 33. 132 yards and a touchdown for Keaton Markley. 126 and 2 touchdowns for Hayden Brown. Clock rolls with 3:50 remaining. Hayes High leads 36-0. All at the 32-yard line. Indians put 6 down on the line. New defense they installed this week. Maiden just missed a tackle for loss in the backfield. Still on his feet, driven to the left side. And it's going to be a gain of maybe a yard on the play down to the 32-yard line. They'll give him 1 to the 32, give him 1 to the 32, and it is 3rd down and 2.
All right.
Abilene is 2 for 5 in the second half on 3rd down. It came on that 18-play drive where they did not score. Abilene has had the ball 3 times in Hayes High red zone and lost the ball on downs each time. Hayes High 4-down lineman this time. The quarterback keeps it right up the middle, and I don't know if the quarterback Castile's going to get there. He's going to be right on the 30.
If they put that ball, looks like they're spotting that ball right on the line, and he will pick up.
Favor, 2:40 and counting, 36-0. Hayes High with the lead, looking at win number 3 and a 1-1 district mark, and they get that district point difference back to 0. Back to that wishbone formation. 4 offensive linemen left, 2 right. Castile wants to throw. He's going to get flushed out to the right side. Throw late is going to be caught by May.
Hand on the jersey there, pulled Wyatt Sheevy around. The hold was not called with a 36-point differential and 2 minutes left. The referee's interested in getting this game over with at this point.
James Maiden's 4th catch, 44 yards. Ball now at the 5-yard line. Indy's trying to preserve a shutout. Can they do it? Handoff goes to Whiteley. He makes one guy miss, a second guy miss, and then there's Palmer Hutchison to end that run.
You know, when they are trying to preserve a shutout, they're trying to make a statement against the Wamego Red Raiders next week, who had to take it to overtime in Wamego to win that game against this Abilene Cowboy team.
Minute 45, Abilene back on the football, back to that wishbone formation. 4 offensive linemen left. They're going to run to the right, though. Whiteley again tiptoes to the line of scrimmage, and he gets taken down at the line of scrimmage. There's Wyatt Sheevy, who's having a monster game for the Indians. 1-1 in district play, 3-5 on the season. Coming from the sideline is Cody Schiffner, a wide receiver for the Abilene Cowboys. He's going to line up as the left tight end. 4 offensive linemen right, 2 left. That 2 fullback formation. Toss left side, goes to Mayfield, tries to bounce it to the outside. Indians whiff on 1 tackle, and there's Teotti to make the tackle on the far sideline. It's a gain of maybe a yard on the play, and Abilene's going to take a timeout with 52 seconds remaining. Well, maybe. The clock continues to run, and they're going to add about another 5 seconds onto the clock if the officials are able to see that. Teotti, the senior for the Hayes High Indians, great tackle to keep James Maiden out of the end zone. It'll be 4th and goal from the 4.
I'll tell you what, they had a 2 fullback set back there, and then the tailback got the ball, but that left linebackers for the Hayes High Indians unblocked, and they could follow that play to the outside. They pursued.
Lewis Field Stadium as the Indians try to make the playoffs for the first time in 4A Division I. McPherson leads 47-0 right now over Wamego.
So we'll talk about this more in postgame, but the Hayes High Indians have wiped off their deficit. Now McPherson, who came into this game at a +1, is going to be on a -20 position. So
McPherson will be +42.
I'm sorry. Wamego will be a -20 on this, while the Hayes High Indians will be at a 0. So not even a must-win for the Hayes High Indians, right? They can lose by a deficit.
Nope, head-to-head would let Wamego into the playoffs because Hayes High would be 1-2 in district play, and Wamego would be 2-1.
So the math is out of it.
The math is going to be out of it next week. It's pretty much going to be a win unless Abilene can upset McPherson. Then a whole lot comes in. Shotgun formation, 4th and goal from the 4, pass to the back of the end zone, out of the back of the end zone, and for a 4th time in the red zone, the Hayes High Indians hold the
Cowboys brought the ball against the wind up 75 yards down the field, and you're right, the Hayes High Indians control the ball on turnover and downs, and they can simply take a knee now to end this game in Abilene.
The Indians have 43 seconds to run off the clock between that and win number 3 of the season, win number 1 in district play. Hayes High can feel pretty good about things as they get ready to head off the field. We got a late whistle around somewhere. I think Hayes High has to take a time. I don't know if they had the right personnel on the field here.
What kind of personnel do you need to take a knee?
They had 9 on the field. They didn't have enough to be able to complete the line with ineligible numbers.
Okay.
So Hayes High will take a timeout. No ill intent here, just didn't get the right guys onto the field. Dodge City has scored, but misses the point after. It is Liberal 27, Dodge City 23 with 1:57 to go in the third quarter. 47-0 in favor of McPherson. That one is in the third quarter. Hayes High is about to end their game. 2 drives, Kurt David, took up 15 minutes and 10 seconds. That moves things along pretty quickly here in Abilene. Your scoreboard update brought to you by Hayes Kalon.
Yeah, even that drive for the Abilene Cowboys that consumed 7 plays and 75 yards ate up well over 3 minutes off the clock. So, yeah, and the Hayes High Indians now with 43 seconds left.
Will take the snap, take a knee, and the Indians will probably have to do that one more time here. Still 40 seconds onto the clock. So Hayes High will let that run down inside of about 25 seconds, take one more knee, and then end their opponent's record of 31-11 means in that 2-5 record.
And I think it speaks highly for the Hayes High Indians because the Abilene Cowboys had a bad taste in their mouth as well from a 1-point overtime loss against Wamego last week. And it's senior night here for these 8 seniors who are going to be graduating. So a lot of emphasis, a lot of emotion for the Abilene Cowboys, and the Hayes High Indians were able to overcome that. You know, the Hayes High Indians have been on a 4-game losing streak, had a tough part of their season. Nice to see them have some success, and they'll be able to go in next week against the Wamego Red Raider team really with their heads held high. And this year on senior night, last year they played Wamego in Wamego, and the outcome didn't turn out so well for the Hayes High Indians. This time the tables will be turned. The Hayes High Indians coming off a win and playing at home on senior night.
It is a shutout for the Hayes High Indians, second of the season, 36-0 over Abilene here at Paul Dennis Field. For Kurt David, Rafe Dent back at the KFIX studio, Harrison and Gabe for ECTV and HayesPost.com. This has been Hayes High Indian Football.